Inside JavaScript, I'll just select that h1. Everybody knows how to select it using, first of all, let me just create a variable called head, and inside this I'll just select that variable document.querySelector by ID. I know there is no ID now. Okay, I know there is no ID now. I'll add the ID. This is one way of selecting the selecting the element by ID, or else better way what I can do is I can directly select it with the tag name, or I can select it yeah, directly I can do document.querySelector. Can use the name of the tag called h1, and if you just log this out, you will see. Yes, yeah, if you can see here, I have console.log this one, which means I have selected h1 now. Okay, so let's see. If I have to style it, you guys know this yesterday. Last time also we did this. I can do it in this way. Color equals to blue. Okay, I can do it in this way. I can put this inside a function. Last time we guys made the project out of it. We designed an application, where every click of a button the color changes. Okay, but the intention is not this today. Okay, but the intention for today's class would be a bit different, and it would be amazing. Let's say using CSS, using HTML, using JavaScript, using CSS all together. What I'll do is first thing what I will do is I'll create an I'll create uh, a styling for an ID called as head equals to head equals to head equals to let's not do this. Let me just put this inside a development. Add this h1 also inside a div. Okay, and save this. So what I'll do is I would just add a bit of border. Okay, guys, listen carefully. This time, this is literally important concept. So that is why I'm trying my best to explain you in much more simpler way. Okay, just type yes if we can start it. I'm starting from the beginning. Just type yes if you all are ready. We can start off. Yes. Okay. Super. Okay. So let's get started. Let's say I'm adding an ID called as head here. Let me just add the ID called as head. Yeah. And I'll style that ID. I'll select that ID here. Let's say style. The background color as this one. See, I've made this background color. I'll make the color as black. This is not getting it right because I've saved it. Yeah, I've made the color as black, and I'll bring it to text align center. I brought it inside center. Okay, so what I would do is, okay, I'll remove this heading ID. So everybody knows this. Everybody knows now that head ID has this styling, has this background color, has this color, has this text styling. So head ID has all these properties. Okay, so I'll remove this from here. Okay, I'll save this. I just have the normal background, normal button name. So what I'll do is I'll just select h1 now. I'll create a variable called head. I'll do document.querySelector. h1. Okay, so yeah, so instead of putting id here, I can directly create it from the javascript itself. Okay, so first thing what I've did is I've just selected this head. So what I'll do is I'll just head and set attribute, because I'm setting the id. I want to add id to h1 from the javascript. And no. So what I have to do is just type head dot set attribute, and what I'm setting, first thing I need to decide this one. I'm setting id and name of that id. You can see here, this is the name of the id that we have created here. I'll just mention head here. Yeah. If I just save now, see, yes, I have not added the id. I have not added id here, but I have added the id from here. I can put this in the function. Okay, I can put this inside a function, and I can call it inside a function. Instead of doing it like this, I can see. I'll do it like head style. I've created a function called head style. Okay, and I'll put this inside function. I can call that function inside here, inside a button. I can create a button here called. I can create a button here. Okay, inside this I can make it like heading style or whatever you want to write on top of button. You can do that. See, I've created a button here. Inside this button, I can call this function here. Whatever I have created a function, I can call this function. So once the user clicks on the button, all the styles will get applied. See now, see, the styles have got updated. So same way I have used my this one as well. If you see my resume project, let me just put this here. If you see my resume project, if you just see the actions, if you just see the resume page, see, on the click of a button, I'm displaying that one. I'm hiding that text. Okay, on a click of a button, see, on a click of a button, I'm displaying this one. I'm hiding other things. So this all the things are being done, using the using this JavaScript itself. Okay, so if you want to give this kind of functionality, so better to add styles attribute from JavaScript itself. Okay, see, I have given see, I have given this one. I have a ID. I have a text. If I just refresh now, if I just click here, I have added ID to this H1, and I have got this styles. If I just click on, I can make one more button if I need. Okay, if I click on that button, I can remove all the IDs. I can remove the ID and I can make it plain, or I can hide it just like that. Okay, so this kind of stylings I can add. Okay, if I want, I can create one more function if I need, as a beginner friendly. Remove head style. One more function I have created. And this, what I can do is I have this one. So here I'm adding I'm adding the ID to h1. Here I can remove the ID from h1 if I want to. So head dot remove attribute. Simple. What attribute I am removing? ID. Simple. Let's see if this works now. Let me call this function inside. I'll create one more button, and I'll do it like remove heading style. I know this button is a bit longer. Sorry, bit longer. Let me just start on click. Save. Yeah. Let's see if this works now. See, I'm adding the style now. If I click on this one, see, I have removed the ID. The simple thing here happening is I'm just removing the ID and I'm adding the ID here. Okay, let me just console log and show it to you people. Head. See, I've added the ID here. I've got this styles. If I just click here, I've removed the ID. I've got this style. Hopefully you guys have understood, and this is literally bit important. To achieve this, this kind of style, what we can do is, okay. Uh, Everybody knows if I have this div, if I'm removing this div, okay, if I'm removing this div, automatically everything will be removed inside whatever there inside the div, that everything will be removed. So what I can do here is, we have an everybody knows how to style it individually. This is the thing. No, let me just select let me just select this div first. So how do I select the div? I have something called as div equal to document dot get no, let me just do query selector, document dot query selector. I have something called div. Okay, so I've selected the div first. So what I would do is div dot style all the elements at the beginning. By default it would be set as, by default it would be the normal the block one. So what we will do is display none, display none. I just, sorry, it should not be here, it should be inside. Okay, so what we are doing here is by using this one, we just do this. See, I've just removed the div now. Let me just console log and show it to you. So what I did here is, so you understood. First thing I've selected the First thing I've did is I've selected the div and I've set its style display none. I've set its style as display none. So what I can do is I can directly call this inside a button. Inside a button here. Okay. And I can put this buttons outside this div, so that the div, if the div is removed, even the buttons will get removed, right? So I'll put this here and I'll add some more text here. Let's say S2. I'll add this college name as IAC University. Okay, AEC University. No need of this one. Okay, I'll give H2 as okay, VCA computer. Okay, computer applications. Okay, I've given this one. So I'll directly style it here. I'll style the div also here. Okay, div. I'll give the background color this one. See, I've got this background color. I'll give bit of border also. Border style solid. I've got this solid border. And let's not do this border style. We'll give border radius. I'll make it as 20 pixels. So it is circle now. I'll give bit of padding also. Padding. Let's say 20 pixels. See, I've got this 20 pixels of padding also. Let me give 10 pixels of margin also. Margin 10 pixels. See, I given 10 pixels of margin also. See, I've got this one. if I just want to now see the div element have all these styles. So what I would do is I've just selected the div element using this document.querySelector, and I'm modifying the style. There is a display element called as block. I'm just removing this. I'm just giving the display element a property, a value of none. Okay, so just save this. If I just give this display element as none, see it's gone. Entire div element is removed. Here, same thing. What I can do is uh, I can just same thing. Let me just select the div and create a yes, let div equals to document dot query selector. I'll select the div here. Okay, here also I'm selecting the div, and to dot div, if I click this one, if I click this button, the entire div should show up, right? So what I do is div equals to document what I do is style. I'm changing the style dot display block. Display equals to save. See, if I just click on this one, it's gone. If I just click here, see, I've got this. Okay, so like this I can make the changes. Let me just remove this one. This is not needed. Let me just remove this one and remove this also. This is also not needed. Okay, this is also not needed. This is. If I just click on this, it's gone. If I just click on this, it came. So to make it much more smoother, I can give a transition here. Transition easy in out of 0.7 seconds. Okay, I just saved it. See, I've got it. If I just remove it, it's just gone. Yeah, I've set display as none. If I just click on this, I've got it. Just remove. See, you can make it much more what do we say, much more smoother if you want to. Okay, guys, understood this part? Let me know if you guys have any doubts, any questions on this. First,
Shahid, one doubt. Can you explain about query select once again? Selector, query selector.
sure, let me just explain the query selector here. So what's happening is, let's say I want to select. Okay, let's make this much more better here. Okay, h2 has a class called as heading 2 head 2. Okay, and this id as only head. Okay, listen here guys, I'm explaining query selector now. You can see here h1 has a id called head and h2 has a class called head 2. So what I would do is I can use this, I can first of all let me just create an tag. Uh, Sajid, if you mind going on mute, because sorry, because there was a background noise. Okay, so let me just show you this one. I'll just create a I've just created a variable called head. I can select the elements. We used to select the elements like this, right? Document dot get element by ID and putting the ID here. I can do it in this way also. I can select the item using document dot get element by ID, and I can select this heading h1 using. I can put head here. Now if I just console log head, yeah, if I just console log this one, you guys can see the h1 element is selected here. Okay, the h1 is selected. Okay, but I do if I want to select it like this, I can do it like this also. But the document, we have one more way called as query selector, document dot query selector. Okay, in which I can select the elements in multiple ways. For example, I can just type the tag name. Tag name is h1, right? I can just type the tag one called as h1, tag name called as h1. Yeah, see, if I just do console log now, console log head to, just do, see here, the, okay, the heading is selected. Still the heading is selected. I'm just using the tag name, the heading is selected. In query selector itself, I can also use query selector itself. What I can do is I can also use, now I have used the tag name, right? I can also use the ID here, hashtag, hashtag head. Now also, if you people this, if you just console log this, log head to, see, I've selected the ID also now. Okay, I've selected this one. First I selected this one during the query select. First time when I used this document query selector, I use the tag name. Second time I'm using this, ID. Third time, if I want to do it, let me just do it in this one. So head 3 equals to document dot query selector. This time I can use class also if I want. Let's say, let me just select this element which has a class called head2. I can use class also, dot class 2, save. If I just do log head 3, see, I've got this one also as selected, h2 also I've selected. So query selector here, I can, if I am using this document dot get element by ID, I can only select the element if it has ID. Okay, if the element has ID, only then I can select it inside JavaScript. But query selector, I can select it by the directly by the tag name. I can select it by the ID. I can select it by class as well. You guys understood why query selector is important?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so the let's say another interesting thing. What is, let's say I have so many buttons here. Okay, for button, you guys know there is no there is no button one, button two. What to do at this point in time for query selector? How do I fix this issue? Okay, one is we can select all the buttons. Let's say I just type buttons with buttons buttons equal to document dot. Here we have something called as document dot query selector all, which means everything that is there on the page. Which means, let's say I want to select all the button tags at once, and I want to style it at once. I can do it here. Buttons dot style. Okay, because okay, this would not work because I'm selecting multiple items. Okay, let me just check. Style equals to style dot color equals to okay, this would not work because if you just print it out, this one, let me just show you this part. If I just do console log buttons, okay, see guys, let me know what is this. What is this entire thing
The
called?
two buttons which we have, heading style and remove heading style.
Yeah, but you guys can see this is an array, right? We have this one, the array here. Okay, buttons. These two buttons are put inside an array. So all the elements, if the similar items are selected from the using this query selector dot all, then it would be selected in the form of, then it would be stored in the form of array. Okay, let's say I want to style button one at this point in time. How do I do the is, you guys know inside an array, this is at the position 0 and this is at the position 1. Last time also we discussed about arrays, right? So how do we access that? Let's say I want to style, know, button that is there at the first position, which means at 0th position, dot style dot color equal to, let me just give background color equal to see, see, like this I can style. I can do it for the second button also. That is our position. You can make it blue. See. So query selector is literally an amazing thing that we have, because we can select it no matter it's an ID, no matter it's a class, no matter it's a tag, no matter it's a number of buttons that we have, no matter number of paragraphs we have, we can select all together and we can start styling in this way. Guys, understood? Or I can start looping it. I can start creating a loop to iterate through it and style it individually. Let me know if you people have understood this part.